They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho,
they're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hi, everyone.
Go ahead, Seth.
Welcome to Stars in the House.
Like, who's going to talk first?
I am. This is our 350th show, something I think.
Like almost as many as Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, not 17 seasons, but almost.
Right. We've crammed them all into 10 months. This is Stars in the House, our daily live stream that we've done basically since everything shut down in March. Yeah. Only like 4 days after Broadway shut down on March 16th.
Yes.
And we've been doing it basically every day since.
We've decided to raise money for the Actors Fund, which we're going to describe in just a well, we're not going to describe it. We're going to have
Chandra Rhimes is going to describe it in a video that we have.
Special guest. So this is what we're raising money for tonight. So we're going to describe it. Then we're going to tell you how you can donate. And yes, the cast of Grey's Anatomy is a comment. But here's the creator of Grey's Anatomy to talk about the Actors Fund. Right. Take it away.
All right. First
no, it's in videos.
It's video. This is how our show works.
Our tech team.
It's David and me and Seth. Here's Shonda.
I came in contact with the Actors Fund. I got to know them during the writer's strike. We did a fundraiser for them with Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy sort of did a concert. Shondaland did a concert and raised money for the Actors Fund during the strike. And that's when I really got to understand what the Actors Fund did, which I thought the idea that there was a organization out there that provided all of these services, every kind of service for everybody in the industry, because it's not just for actors, it's for anybody who works in the arts community, because it's not even just film and television, it's opera, it's radio, it's theater. That made me feel like there was a safety net and a world in which we as a community were taking care of other artists.
Okay.
So
perfectly
well said.
Described.
Yeah.
That is the Actors Fund. So if you are able to give, go to starsinthehouse.com. You'll see it scrolling on the bottom there for the entire show. And you make your donation there, or you can text it to Fund 2020 to 56512. You'll get a receipt. And if you want your name and donation read aloud by one of the cast members, you will forward that receipt to donations@starsinthehouse.com.
Yes, and then it'll be read by one of the cast members tonight, perhaps while making out, because that's what they're always doing. Okay, I'm very excited.
Hold on, we have to say how much money that Stars in the House has raised so far.
Right, we began in March, and by the way, we don't have any corporate sponsors. All this money is just from amazing people like you that send in the money. So far, what we've raised for the Actors Fund as of today, you ready, James?
That's right, okay. $657,490. That's right.
But that can go a lot higher tonight.
That's
so
right.
Keep those donations coming. And by the way, if you need money, go to actorsfund.org. If you're in the arts, no matter what you do, if you need help paying your rent, your medical bills, paying for food, if you need help finding a job, figuring out how to get the vaccine, you can get all this help. You go to actorsfund.org. That's if you need help. If you can give some help, get these to starsinthehouse.com.
And we always forget to say this, but if you could
Hold on, let me be clear.
Okay.
If you can like this specific video you're watching right now, it makes a huge difference with YouTube.
David.
So literally just click like and it'll help the algorithms. If you can also subscribe to the channel, it helps. That way, when we call big stars from Grey's Anatomy, we don't say we only have 10 subscribers. We can go, we have so many subscribers. So please subscribe to this, because by the way, we have a big reunion coming up we can't talk about just yet.
But I can say that it is in the Shondaland family that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. So that's a way for you not to miss it.
Yeah, so subscribe to that. And just right now, if you could just copy the address where you are right now and share it on your social media and go, oh my God, the cast of Grey's Anatomy is coming on, then everyone can watch.
So that's that. But we have here, so we're going to bring on the first half of the show, because the way that this works is this is not Zoom. This is a platform called StreamYard, and you can only have as many as 10 boxes on at a time. And so we're going to split it into two, and we tried to do the pairing. So it's like Kevin and Kim are on, and Kelly and Anthony are on the same section, which is the section we're about to bring on. And Chandra Wilson, she's the reason why we're all here. She's on the Western Council of the Actors Fund. She's going to talk about that a little bit more when she comes on. She's going to be on both sections, and she's the one who put the whole damn thing together.
But don't waste your energy constantly writing, "Where is Joe?" Like everyone who's advertised going to be here is going to be here, but they're just in two different sections.
Exactly. So
Anything
I say
else?
we bring everyone on, Seth.
It's so exciting.
I know. And by the way, if you see Seth turning around, this is the reason why.
Our dog who has OCD? Yeah, we need to talk to Dr. Bailey.
Yeah,
She has OCD and she bites her nails like obsessively, so I'm always trying to stop her. So that's why I keep turning around.
Yeah, if Seth turns around, or if I turn around, or by the way, if we get up, and everyone's made fun of us, but she has a little bit of a weight problem. This is a medical issue here, so we give her broccoli.
Yeah, when she really starts acting out, we give her broccoli.
So if you see me getting up, I'm not rude. I'm just like literally trying to get broccoli for our dog. As crazy as that sounds, that's what we have found. That's the healthy choice. Yeah. All right, let's bring on Chandra Wilson as she's laughing up. Let's bring her on first. Chandra Wilson.
Dr. Bailey.
Hi, Dr. Bailey.
You all entertain the mess out of me. Let me tell you. I think maybe Miranda Bailey needs to try this broccoli thing that you were just talking about. I haven't done that yet in any of my storylines.
They need to put it in a ball for you and then throw it, and then you'll chase it.
Oh my God.
It'll keep you active.
Good goodness.
What I say?
All right, let's bring on some of your co-stars here.
Yes,
let's start with Jim Pickens. Hi, Jim.
Hey, how are you? I'm good. Glad to be here. Chandra, love you. All right, darling. Glad to be here, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good. And let's bring on Kevin McKidd. Kevin.
Hey, hi guys.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Kevin, are you 8 feet tall and that's like the ceiling right back of your head? What is that?
No, this is my headboard.
You're laying down in bed. I love it. Snuggle up.
I'm sitting in bed.
Well,
The theme song says pajamas.
This is my nightmare.
I almost sat in bed and then I was like, well, maybe I better not. And I have my dog behind me. I might, I don't know if I want to try the broccoli thing. I'm not sure what the after effects of broccoli does.
Oh yeah, that part's a nightmare.
Yeah.
You have to take your dog out a lot, Kim. A lot. All right, let's bring on Kelly McCreary. Hi, Kelly.
Hey.
Yay! Hi! Oh my God, you guys, I can't hear anything.
We'll help you.
All right, you know what? We're going to take
everything until you brought me on. Like right when Kim started talking, I was like, no sound, barely any movement. So I'm going to reload the page. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you'll be right back. Yeah, she knows what to do.
Oh my gosh, this is like a French farce.
Right, without the comedy.
Well, we're waiting for Kelly. Let's bring on Anthony Hill.
Hey.
Kelly works here.
Okay, Kelly's coming back.
Kelly, can you hear him?
You there now?
That was typical, classic McCreary. Totally. The moment I'm supposed to be on camera.
Yay. Anthony, is this your publicity debut with the Grays folks?
With all you guys, yeah. I mean, me and Kelly did some stuff, but for everybody else, this is it.
Yeah. First group outing. Welcome.
Anthony, have you filmed more episodes like in the pandemic than before the pandemic?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I only did one before the pandemic, and that was like November of 2019. It was a standalone. Yeah. So it was a long time ago. And then everything shut down. And then everything else has been since then.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, we're constantly binging your episodes. When was the last time you guys all saw each other? Because we feel like we just saw you a minute ago.
It was right before we broke for the holidays. What was it?
November, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last time we saw each other in person. Although we did just have a cast Zoom today. So this,
yes.
Hey guys, nice to meet you.
Back again.
But
I never can see anybody on the calls. It's weird because there's so many boxes that I can't tell who. I just can't.
Yeah, weirdly, this setting is more intimate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. We've got like 40 boxes on us.
So, Chandra, we should start with you because you're the one responsible for all this.
Oh my. So
Go.
Well, because we'd been talking, for a minute about trying to figure out when's the right time, how, let's get things together. And then you guys also contacted me about the elections. Oh, I don't know if you guys didn't know this. At first, we were going to try to get together and do something for Georgia, right? And like talk as a cast, but stuff goes back and forth and publicity and blah, 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 blah. And so the next thing you know, we're in December. And then I thought about the Actors Fund and the fact that a lot of people were going to start losing their jobs at the end of December. And are getting furloughed, or our industry, and it seems like we're getting further and further away from theater being able to come back full time. We're looking at May, but that could be June, that could be July. Dancers aren't working at all right now. Anybody in concert, anybody on tour, and so that's why I reached out to my lovely cast to see if they wouldn't mind joining me on this venture, because you guys crack me up, Seth and James, and I figured that this would be, something fun for us to do. Make sure that people know that the Actors Fund is not just for actors; it's for everyone in our industry. And this would be the third time that our cast, as a whole, over all the seasons, has been able to do something for the Actors Fund. So, maybe that was it. Maybe that was the reason why you all jumped on, is because you heard the Actors Fund. But
you also, Chandra, you have an Actors Fund personal story.
Yeah, I went to them the first time in 1996 in New York when I was facing one of those many eviction notices that you face in New York. And Equity told me that Actors Fund was a place to go to, and they were right there for me to get me through that. Actually, I think it was 1995. And I said, one of these days when something really great happens with my career, I want to make sure to pay back that money, and I want to, be able to do some significant work, because I know that I'm not the only one that's been in that position. And about a year ago, I joined the Western Council to be able to, kind of brainstorm and come up with some ideas. And that was even before COVID. So they've done some amazing things since COVID. They were right there from the minute the industry shut down. They've given out about $15 million or so dollars.
I think it's like up to 18. I don't have it right in front of me. It's a lot.
Crazy town, and they're still there. So you just go to actorsfund.org, and I think we're on the second round of folks now. So anyway, so that's why I'm here. That's why they're important to me, and I know that they're important across the industry.
Oh my gosh. Well,
and that's so, for the audience to understand too, like that's such an incredible story, because I think for artists, that's such a pivotal moment. So many artists, it's whether you stay in the industry or you can't afford to stay in the industry because you can't pay your rent and you end up going, back home. So that, to have that Actors Fund support, and also all artists, is just really a major touchstone for keeping artists in the artistry until they have a moment,
And not just with money, with counseling, with people that are going through career changes, with people that need help with bread and butter gigs, in between while you're waiting for your Grey's Anatomy to show up. For
legal assistance in some cases.
Say that?
They help with legal assistance. If you want to set up an LLC, the business guidance. It's a tremendous resource, but especially now when even people's survival jobs aren't available to them anymore. If you worked in the restaurant industry as your backup job, but that's not available. So it's so important to make the awareness of the Actors Fund, and to elevate the awareness of it and let people know that it's there for you now and always.
Okay, we need to have all of you on the show every time. I've never heard the Actors Fund spoken of more eloquently, and the need for it. It's true.
Oh my gosh, we suck.
Oh my god. We have so many questions, and there were so many the fan questions. I don't know how many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So,
oh my god, I was like, don't tag me. My Twitter's so many questions.
So I sent them to Kendall Wright. Shout out to Kendall Wright and Shonda Land. And
Yay, Kendall.
Yay, Kendall. Kendall,
Kendall.
the background of Shonda's little news piece there. He was floating around
Yeah,
there.
he was hanging to the right. I saw him.
Yeah, he was trying to be incognito there.
So let's just go right into the fan questions. What do you think, Seth? Because we also have some fun clips, all from this season. Well, almost except for one, but that's for Chris later on. So I say, well, let's do it. So Jim, you're up first.
Yes, sir.
So this is from Alice. And Alice says,
No last name.
Yeah, no.
AA style.
Hey,
AA
Alice doesn't live here anymore. There you go. Yes.
Exactly. Jim, how is it to work on this show from the very beginning?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It obviously it's been a game changer. To most actors will go their whole careers and never experience what I experienced here working on this show. You know, I was a working actor in New York for many years. I had a great career and then decided to come out to LA and the career continued that way. But at 50 years of age, I got this show. When, around that time, actors are starting to kind of see the horizon of their careers, for lack of a better term. But this came along and it changed my life. It's been an amazing ride. Worked with some amazing people. Obviously, the show speaks for itself in terms of what it's done, both culturally and in terms of how we see the landscape of television. And to be right there at the kind of the birth of this and then how it's changed, it changed the way we look at casting, how we look at inclusion. I think to be a part of that, I've been really humbled and very proud of it. It's been a blast. Every day I go to work thankful and grateful that I can do this. And it's always exciting. I've never been bored. Say, I'm about ready to do something else. It's been really cool.
Well, I found this great clip. Speaking of someone who's been there from the very beginning, also you and Chandra. So this great clip I love between the two of you. It's about 30 seconds. I'm going to play it right now.
I will find no peace if I have to leave it.
You are going to give me a second heart attack. You know that.
Barely. I gotta tell you that this place couldn't ask for a better chief. I'm in awe. Even though I taught you most of it.
No.
All of my profanity got cut out at the end. I think I called you a couple of names.
Yes, she did. She still loves me though. She still loves me.
First smile and love me. Yes.
Hey, Kelly.
That's our relationship, right? Like
right.
in the beginning, just
yeah.
You just can't mess it up. Right. It's tight.
Yeah.
It's mentor, it's family, it's competitive. I love that it's still so competitive, right?
Yeah.
And we get on each other's nerves, but
right. We're like an old married couple with scrubs on,
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly, I think David sent you some donations. You want to read the first?
Yes. Yeah, let me read them. Okay. All right. We've got William from New York City has donated $103.
Hey.
Oh, we've got a Katarina donated $25. We've got Miranda. Yes, let's give Miranda applause. Yes. We got Rhonda from San Francisco donating $50. And we got, yes, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you, Rhonda.
We're digging deep tonight, and we really appreciate it. Bella from Connecticut has offered $5. Thank you, Bella.
Thank you, Bella.
And Claire from Wisconsin, my home state, has donated $10.
Thank
you, Claire.
Thank you, Wisconsin.
And one more, Joy from Flushing, Queens, I assume, has donated $25. And she is saying that Grey's Anatomy is my favorite TV show. I'm currently rewatching for the 8th time. I hope one day they make a musical out of the show. That would be a long musical.
That's so amazing to me that people watch us that way. It's just the craziest evolution that we've made over, all these years. I can't imagine watching a show over and over again, and people do it. And I mean, we've found new audiences right here in the doggone pandemic where people hadn't seen it before and just decided to start. It's an amazing little monster that we have. I tell you that much.
Yeah. It's like comfort food.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Very much so.
Well, except for when they're horrific deaths of your favorite characters, then it's not so comforting. But
That's what I'm saying, but they come alive again because people start over from the beginning. I'm going to show these nails a lot, by the way.
I was looking at those the other day. I was looking, got a little swag going on here. I say, look at
I was
you.
going to text you, but I didn't want to distract you, and I was like, wow, they're gorgeous.
People start over and over again so much. It's like they're finding all of our dead characters,
She's like fucking like this over and over.
And they all show
Very
up.
cool.
See, they all show up on the beach eventually with Ellen Pompeo, so it kind of works out.
Yes.
Good.
How great has that been?
How
Another
great
genius
is that?
move by
Oh my
Chris.
God.
I mean,
And I love that whole LL Bean Gap catalog look they all have, like the white. It's so cute.
It was
God, I want that outfit.
Yeah,
We didn't know Heaven had a
they were talking
uniform.
about color schemes for that, and I think that's where they were at L Bean. It was a pastel kind of, I was like, okay.
Works.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Here, the next question. Let's see. It's actually Kevin or Kim you can answer because, of course, there were questions about your relationship. But should we play the clip first? Maybe we should.
Yeah, this is a little awkward.
Set it up with the clip first. Set it up with the clip.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see what the clip-
Cover your eyes, Kim. It's not pleasant.
Schmitt.
Oh my God.
Schmitt played this for me in the OR on what was supposed to be our wedding day. So much for love. So much for friendship. So much for trust.
Owen,
So much for us.
Owen, let me.
No.
Oh my God. Wait, Owen. Oh my God. Oh my God.
oh my God!
Yeah.
I know she is really messing up right now. I agree, but we're human. And
Yes,
that's
we are.
what Shonda has always shown our dark side, and hopefully we will show her healing.
Right. I'm trying to understand her, really. I think that's what's really exciting about watching it unfold is really trying to peel back the onion layers of these characters. I think that's why people keep watch it 8 times over, because there's a lot there, and we take the time. Fortunately, we've had 17 seasons to do it. It takes time to really get to know these people.
But Kim, I get yelled at for bringing my phone to a stupid vocal rehearsal. Why is your phone in the operating room? I mean, honestly, if you didn't have it with you.
It wasn't in the operating room. My phone was recording and it was somewhere else. I mean, let me just tell you, at the table read, when I came up, I was like, can I get under the table? And I had to make those noises over and over. And then when we were doing that scene again, when we came back, they play things back like on playback. Like if you're doing a music video, they've got speakers everywhere and they play it at 100, the highest decibel, right? And so we're about to do this scene and they do playback and they didn't gauge the sound. And it was like at 500 of me or Teddy having that moment. And I was like, no more.
That's funny.
Kim, that's hilarious.
It's my ringtone.
It's a ringtone.
With that in mind, here's the
Kevin, do you have
question.
anything to say?
Well, Kevin, you get the question. You get the question from Sarah. Do you think that there's still some hope for Teddy and Owen's relationship?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Listen, Teddy and Owen have been through so much. And listen, Owen has not been a saint Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Over the years, let's look at his track record for a minute. So like people in glass houses, but yeah, Owen's really hurt, and and like I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're gonna be just. I mean, there's gonna be some healing going on, and there's gonna be some conversation. But I think Teddy and Owen have been through. They went through war together. They can get through this. I hope, but who knows?
I think the interesting thing is, for me, what's exciting about it is it is, I think, the sort of quintessential Grey's of showing the complexity of human beings. And I think the magic of this show is it's not like these perfect people that are doing perfect things all the time. It's that we are flawed. I mean, for me, it's that we're flawed. And she's really stepped into a really bad cycle in her life. And what's kind of going to be so amazing is how she reaches out to the other people in the hospital for her healing. And it's actually, I think, just such an incredible move by the writers and Krista. And it's so controversial, and I know the fans are so upset about it. And I'm upset about it too. I am, but I think that's also, is like what Kelly said, is peeling back the onion of why we are who we are, and how do we make better choices and be better.
I hope she doesn't come to Bailey and ask her anything.
Oh, she will.
I would like to see that.
I don't know about that.
But listen, Chandra, I remember when Owen cheated all those years ago, and Owen and Bailey had a scene together when Owen's in his pit of despair and shame. And the quote that Chandra said to him was, she said, what did she say? She said, even though you did a terrible thing, you're not a terrible person. That's what Bailey said to Owen.
She said a whole bunch of other stuff, and then she like ended.
I just rewatched that scene the other day. Like Owen was like, "I cheated on Christina." Oh my god! Yeah. And that's what Bailey. I keep saying Chandra because Bailey and Chandra to me are the two wisest people on the set.
Chandra, do you have more donations to read?
I do. Let's see.
Love it.
Who do we have here? Oh, I have 2 pages. Yay. Okay, so first.
So hold applause so we can get through. We got a lot more questions before our medical. By the way, we didn't say we have a medical break.
We have a medical break.
We have an actual medical break with an actual doctor.
That Chandra Wilson's going to stay on for. But Chandra, go. So we'll hold the applause so we can get to all the questions and clips.
Okay, so some don't say where they're from. Lily gave $25, Mary and Matt $10, Catherine $10, Tim and Emily $25, and then Cheryl from Pennsylvania $50. So excited to have Grey's Anatomy here tonight. I rewatched all the episodes when quarantine started, which was a wonderful way to spend some time. Thank you for 16 plus seasons, and thank you Seth and James for helping us through the past 10 months. Yay. That's page 1.
Yay, thank you.
2 is Di, $15. Elizabeth from New York City, $36. Kira from Pennsylvania, $20. Holly from Connecticut, $20. Tova from New York, $25. And Emily from Boston, $25. Love this. Thanks so much with no hearts, 2 hearts at the end. Yay.
Yay, thanks everyone.
So amazing.
Cool.
So Kelly, you're up next. So this is a question from Barbara. How do you feel being a Black woman watching the latest episodes of Grey's Anatomy and seeing how they're dealing with racism on the show and exploring more of the relationships between Black people? That's from Barbara.
Barbara, thank you for your question. I have to say I feel really good about it because I asked for it. I did talk to the writers. We were all asked about story ideas that we had for the season. I knew that we were going to be living in a COVID world for this season, and I felt very strongly that we couldn't talk about that pandemic without talking about the other pandemic of racism in this country. And the hospital is such it's such an incredible place to explore it, because you've got all these high stakes life and death situations coming in every day, every moment of every day in a hospital. And whether we like it or not, race impacts how these people are cared for in the hospital, for the better and for the worse. And so as long as we were going to be topical and not be completely escapist this season, I am all for us actually, embracing, wrapping these characters, wrapping our hearts, wrapping our minds around some of the issues, and also some of the joys, and some of the I love the sisterhood and camaraderie that Maggie and Bailey get to share because of this, because of this shared thing. They're not very similar, but they have this one thing in common that really is it creates a space for a bond. And so I love that we're leaning into all of that in a really direct way this season, I have to say. And I've seen a lot from the fans that they're excited to be engaging with these characters. I think that Maggie and Bailey and all of the Adele, all of the Black women characters we've had on the show, all the characters of color on the show, people are thrilled to see themselves represented through these storylines, to be able to feel even closer to these characters. And so I think that, leaning into this experience, it does the same thing for the people in our audience who need that kind of release and need the opportunity to say, yes, that's exactly my story. It's one thing that we haven't done a lot of on the show in the past, and so I'm glad we're giving those audience members a chance to have that.
Well, in this part of the season that just ended, this first 6 episodes, they're pre-George Floyd too. So I can only imagine what it will be afterward. I don't know. Do you know, or are you allowed to say if the rest of the season is going to be going past into the fall?
I honestly,
we have
take it away, Chandra.
Chandra.
Never know, but it's kind of what you said pre-George Floyd. I was one of the people that was hoping that by the time these episodes aired, we would be talking about something in the past. And it seems like with every episode, it's more relevant and more present and more, and we were pre-vaccine as well when we ended, so it's boy, everything right now is so incredibly fluid. I know we try to pay close attention. We're really not trying to hit anybody over the head with anything. We're just showing what's there. And there is no way that we could be a show that lives in Seattle, Washington at the beginning of the pandemic and not be affected by the pandemic.
Right.
So Gray's had to go there. That's where we had to be.
Kelly, regarding that the question, I love this clip. It's with you and Anthony. It's just a little clip of the scene when you're on the phone. Here we go.
Guys, good to see you. What's wrong?
I don't know how much longer I can do this. 53 people. That's how many have died on my watch since this thing started, 53. And most of them have been Black women, so that means...
The same thing's happening here. Everywhere.
Wow.
Oh, that's heavy.
You're part of the relevance there, Anthony Hill.
Man, it's so important. That was so well said, Kelly. It is crucial right now, and it's so relevant. And I'm happy and I'm honored to be a part of it, to be completely honest.
Our kid is right here.
Speaking of people who've watched the series,
she's 20
times.
and she has
Guys.
Freaking out.
I'm in love with all of you.
So she's going to read a fan question here, Julie, that's from Claire.
Who breaks character the most? Just a fun little...
Who
Out of all of you,
breaks character the most?
Like laughs or
Yeah, admit it. You're not also serious on the set. Go.
Who breaks character? Wow, that's a good question. Wow,
I don't know if I break character, but I can't remember my lines, and I will look at the camera and go, "Oh, we going."
I don't know.
If I get really tired, I can go into like a lot. I start getting the giggles, and I can. I mean, like when Henry was sort of on the verge of dying, it was like a Friday night, and like the crew really wants to go home, and it was like one of the straw, and I'm passing the straw, and it's almost like an exhaustion relief, but I can get the giggle. We can all get the giggles pretty good. Oh yeah.
We'll put it on you, Cam.
Lose it a few times, Cam. Like,
oh my gosh!
We've had quite a lot of scenes where the two of us just set each other off, and then that's it. Like, you know, and then the crew are all like, "Come on, guys, can you just get together?"
And the more they want you to like pull it together, it's like the more it's almost like you can't. Then you're like doing a scene, and you like can't look at the other. I remember we were also chasing someone in the hallway. We're trying to find someone in the hallway, a patient who had disappeared. It was me, Katerina, and you. And like we couldn't.
It was. Yeah,
we're talkers. Like we talk between, especially now because we never get to say anything to each other. You know, we're kind of moving around, being
isolated.
We'll get into a real good conversation, and the bell will go off, and the thing will clap, and we're still together. And action. And so, and then
it's so true.
Debbie Allen will get us disconnected. Like we're too like. Okay, so then what happened? How's your kid doing? And she's like, okay.
Hey, time to work now.
Enough.
You're sad. You're sad.
Well, believe it or not, we're coming to the end of our section.
Oh, no.
I know. But
too quick. This is over too quick.
I know it went over it, but you know what? Before we go, Jim, the clip I did two back to back because for YouTube purposes. Thank you, Julie. Julie's going to come back for the second half for another fan question. Is that the speech that you give to the interns was so moving? It's so well written, directed, and acted. I felt like before we go into our medical segment with Chandra and Dr. Lepuc, I wanted to show it because I don't know, and I'd love you just to talk about it afterward. But let me play it first, and it's divided into two.
When you decided to go to med school, you had dreams of a career. I know this isn't it. It's not mine either. I want to be in an OR. I want to be cutting. I want to hold my patient's hand, skin to skin. I want to meet their loved ones. I want to be in the before. But the before is gone. We're in the now, and people are looking to us to guide them through it. We will. I'll teach you the jobs that need to get done. I will make sure that you learn as much as you can. And we'll be okay. We'll get through this together.
Makes me cry. It's so good. It's what we all need to hear right now.
Yeah. Yes, it was so apropos, and it's kind of a fast forward from our pilot when he addresses the interns for the first time there, and I think and reading it and saying how I wanted to do it, I want to do it in a way that wasn't sentimental, but spoke to the moment and spoke to where we are right now in the Grays world, but also in the world outside of Grays. And I was happy to be a part of that. There was a powerful way to introduce this next move that we're about to go into.
And Seth, you had a question.
I directed that episode.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin directed
that episode. And I remember seeing Jim deliver that speech, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I just thought Jim delivered it so beautifully. And then
wait a minute, Kevin, you directed it? I didn't know.
Yeah, he directed that.
Scene with Kelly. That was the same episode. I directed.
I wasn't trying to kiss up either. I really liked it. It was really well directed. It was great.
He left.
We lost him.
That was awesome. He was like, "You know me."
He was overcome with yes.
Well, it's that very British thing where you don't want to take any compliments. You're like, I can't handle it. Cut.
It's so immediate. But Seth, I have a question for Jim though about the interns.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, are these interns gonna be the next? Like, are we gonna see them for the next 17 years? What's the deal?
Well, we don't know yet. You never know with our show, but we have them right now, and we'll see how it turns out. But they're wonderful actors and actresses, and we're looking forward to working with them some more.
Well,
our cycle continues.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we lost.
I want to show one thing.
You want to show one thing?
I was going to show you guys.
Okay.
Just you guys are Peter Gallagher, the amazing movie actor.
Oh, sure. We know Peter. Yeah.
And his daughter is Catherine Gallagher, who's in Jagged Little Pill. And she wrote me a fan letter about. She's like, I'm so obsessed with Grey's Anatomy. She had a Secret Santa during Jagged Little Pill, and this is what the Secret Santa got her, and she's like her favorite possession now. That's her.
I love
it. She's watching right now.
Very cool.
Thank you all, and tell Kevin thank you. Even though we lost him. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, kudos. Keep doing what you're doing, Seth and James. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Everybody keep those donations
Sandra,
coming.
thank you, darling. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
Thank you, Anthony.
Bye, Kelly. See you at a game night, Kelly.
Yeah.
And thank you. Oh, I lost.
And
there
then
we
we're gonna
go.
keep
There's Chandra.
Hey.
Hey,
girl.
Can you believe those
You
donations?
want me to tell you? Yeah. I've got.
You got
here.
more?
Yep.
Oh, hold on, Chandra. Kevin,
No.
poor Kevin.
Kevin.
You were trying to get into the studio.
Sorry, my son called me and so it kicked me out of the call.
Working from home. Yeah.
What I was saying was, I promise I wasn't kissing up. It was just looking for a job. It was really well directed.
Thank you. The point I was going to say real quick was when I
Yeah.
heard Jim speak that speech and then in editing, because he did it so beautifully. Originally, the script, it didn't say that we went to, we ping-ponged around like Kelly's character and Ellen and, all the people. But then that gave me the idea that his emotionality in that scene to add that kind of montage of checking in with all the doctors. So
It pertains
I was really
to
proud of
everybody.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
She's got one of our directing stars over there that we've birthed.
Anyway, so thank you so much, guys. Are you going to the next group?
Well, Chandra's going to read some more donations, and then we're going to bring on Dr. LaPook with her, and then we're going to bring on the second. Well, okay. Chandra, you're just going to have to invite. You're going to have to do this part 2 at some point.
We should do it again because this has been so much fun. I'll do it anytime. Anytime you want to invite us, we'll be there.
That's so nice.
Thanks, Kevin.
And Kevin, you're all ready for bed, so you just go to sleep. And we'll
bed right there. Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Chandra, you must have so much fun with this cast.
I do. Because, our family is always big and we're such an eclectic kind of group of, nobody's like anybody else. So it's a treat. It just continues to be a treat.
So you read the donations, and then we're gonna have a medical break. Then we're gonna bring in the whole rest of the cast that hasn't been on yet.
Yeah.
Carly gave $10. Emily from New York City, $15. David from Florida, $50. Elizabeth from New York, $35. Ryan of California, $75. He thanks Seth and James and the Actors Fund for everything you are doing. This gift is in memory of my friend Kate. We appreciate the hours of entertainment and discussion Grays provides. And lastly, here I have. Click it.
I love those nails. I love those nails, Chandra.
I'm working. This is my daughter's COVID job that she found, to do nails. Isabel, $10. Teresa from Brooklyn, $15. Maddie from Clarkston, $25. Catherine from North Carolina, $10. And Amber from the United Kingdom, $10. I adore the show and all the actresses on the show. I'm currently rewatching it for the 7th time with my mom and my grandma.
Chandra, your point keeps getting made about the number of times the people watch the show. I love it.
It's crazy town, but hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate every minute of it.
Absolutely. All right, so let's bring on a real doctor. We got a TV doctor and a TV doctor and a real doctor, and Dr. John LaPook, Chief Medical Correspondent of CBS News.
Hi, Chandra.
Hi.
Am I late too late for the audition? I
16 years too late, dear.
There's always an audition. What are you talking about?
The uncus of the parahippocampal gyrus. Okay.
Oh my.
Okay.
Nice. We haven't done that.
Okay. All right. That was just my little. I decided I'd get dressed up, because it was such a big night.
It's so impressive. So for our viewers, we always have a medical break on Stars in the House ever since this began back in March. And John gives us up to the minute COVID updates because he's always talking to Dr. Fauci, or as he says, Tony Fauci. So Dr. LaPook, the vaccine is rolling out, and I would love for you to explain the thing that I keep hearing from people, which is, I don't trust the vaccine. It was made too quickly, or why don't we wait and see? I've heard about after effects. Can you just explain that it wasn't made quickly, please?
Right. Okay. So this vaccine, although it, the sequence was published by the Chinese on January 10th, and 2 months later, there was a vaccine that was being tested in phase 1 trials. So how did it happen that fast? It was based on decades of research. So in 2003, when SARS-1 came along, there was a vaccine, took 20 months. And then remember, there was H1N1, bird flu, that took fewer months. And then by the time they got to Zika, it was 3 months. And this was 2 months. So the technology's gotten better and better. How did they do that? Something called vaccine platforms. And what that means, very briefly, is imagine you had a factory and it was making a widget. And you decide, I want to make a new widget. So would you have to get a new factory and new workers and a new assembly line? No, you get a new mold. That's exactly what happens. Once they had the factory, once they had the platform established, when a new virus came along, like this new one, SARS-CoV-2, they took the genetic code for that. They unscrewed the last virus's genetic code, threw that away, screwed in the genetic code that they needed for this virus, and bam, they had a vaccine. Now, after that, what went much faster than in the past was the testing. Phase 1 to phase 2, phase 3. Not because they cut any corners. They cut red tape, not corners. So they did them all at the same time. Instead of taking months between the different phases, they just did them together. People were working around the clock. It was a pandemic. And then, of course, they made hundreds of millions of doses at risk, meaning we don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to start making it anyway. If it doesn't work, we've lost money. But if it does work, which we have 95% effective vaccines, you don't want to say, okay, now let's start making it. No, they already had hundreds of millions of doses on the way. There's been screw-ups with the rolling out of it. We all know about that in the United States, although I heard that 1.2 million people got vaccinated yesterday. Wow. Biden regime's coming along. The administration's coming along. I think it's going to be much more effective. Pfizer said they're going from 1.3 billion doses this year to 2 billion now, they're saying. Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca vaccines are coming. Moderna's making more. So I got my Pfizer, the second dose yesterday. Easy peasy. All I have is a little bit of soreness. I feel perfectly fine. And we just got to get out there and just right now make sure that everybody does what they can, which is wearing the masks and all the mitigation stuff, because help is around the corner. I really do feel, I've been saying from the beginning, there's a beginning and a middle and an end to this. And we've gone through it, right? Last March, it's the beginning, folks. Over the summer, this is the middle. This is the beginning of the end of this pandemic. I really feel that way. We're going to start to see the numbers drop off in a few months. Not right now. The country's on fire right now. It's terrible. I'm at NYU Langone Health, and the ICUs are starting to fill up, and it's terrible all over the country. So everybody's got to wear the masks. I had a thought today about a kind of tongue-in-cheek about vaccine allocation. Maybe we make one of the criteria that the states get it based on what percentage of people wear masks. I don't know how you'd figure that out.
That's hard.
A question came up. Do you guys mind if I ask right quick?
Sandra, go.
Based on what you just said, can you, and I love that you said that the companies preemptively started to make supply.
Yeah.
That I hadn't heard that before, so that kind of answers a lot of questions. But for folks that are kind of like waffling between feeling like a lab rat and something that's not really tested, what is the difference between a clinical trial and this distribution that we're going through? Because I think some people feel like, I don't want to be in a trial. I don't want you to try this out on me.
Well, remember, by the time they got to phase 3, one is to look for this, like, what dosage do we use? And, they a relatively small number of people to see if it's safe. Then phase 2 is more than that. By the time that phase 3 was over, there were 30,000 people for Moderna and 44,000 for Pfizer, or the other way around. But there were like 75,000 people who had been tested. So you're not a guinea pig. There have been 75,000 people before you who it's gone on. Mm-hmm. So that's amazing. Now, of course, now you're going to have millions. And when you have millions and you have a 1 in a million side effect, you may start to see things. But so far, we're seeing, you heard about the allergic reaction that some people get. There have been no deaths with it, but they're right there. They get an EpiPen or they get some steroids or antihistamine. And so far, so good. And from a scientific point of view, this makes real sense that it would be safe, that it would be effective. It's a technological tour de force. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? Because people of color are naturally suspicious of, they have a reason to be suspicious of things that have happened in science. Tuskegee is a very famous, terrible episode where black men who had syphilis were followed and not treated for decades to see what would happen, what the natural history is. And so we have to win back the confidence, and it's going on now in terms of obviously institutional racism. So the CDC and others, I've done a number of stories about this. It's not enough to have the CDC say, or Francis Collins, the head of the NIH, say it's safe, or Tony Fauci even. You got to have the pastors and the people on the ground, the people in the churches, which is what is happening right now, the community leaders, to be able to say, look, this is not business as usual. The people who would normally say, I'm going to wait a year and see if anything happens. No, we are in the middle of a pandemic. I heard that like 1 in 3 people in California may be infected right now.
Yeah.
And thousands of people, are dying a day now. So this is a time where there's no doubt in my mind that the benefits of taking the vaccine outweigh the risk.
Right.
My mother just got it. No side effects at all. She's 88. She got it on Monday and she's fine. Chandra, you don't have any special ins to get a vaccine because you work in a hospital, do you?
I do not. I have to get myself in the back of the line with all the folks my age and everything. So
well, I know people are so frustrated about that, Chandra, because you have 50 states with 50 different game plans, right? Yeah. I keep saying it's like you had a football game with 50 coaches and 50 game plans, and by the way, 7 different assistant coaches, and they're all calling audibles. So people are running around. I heard that in California today, that now they went back on a ruling that they had, and people are confused in New York. They're dialing, they're trying to get appointments. They make it gets canceled. So, this is something we should be able to do really well from the top down with computers, technology, informatics.
All right.
And good advice, right? Federal advice about how the states should do it. I mean, I know every state is individual and the population is different and the terrain is different, but that kind of guidance, right?
Yeah, there should be much stronger national leadership that has a general algorithm, a formula, a plan. And then if they can call an audible here and there on the local level, but it should be coming much more strongly from the feds. Before I leave, I want to make sure that I spoke to the CDC today. They want to make sure people know at the end of this month, I think it's the 26th of the month, there's going to be a new rule, the 26th, that says if you're coming into the States, you have to have had a negative COVID test within 3 days. It's got to be on paper or electronic record. If you don't have it, you're not getting on the plane. Once you get here, you're supposed to be tested again in 3 to 5 days and quarantined for 7 days. It's not perfect because you know, Seth, 2 to 14-day incubation period. So you could be infected the day before you leave, test negative 3 days before you leave, and then pop up positive 8 days after you get here. But this is a way of saying, look, we've got it spreading all over the world. It's a world war. We have to treat it like that. We have these different strains that are more infectious. So let's be special.
You're talking about coming into the U.S.
Coming into the U.S. from really any place internationally.
And the same way traveling out?
I don't think it's the same way going out, but going out, there are restrictions from the State Department about where you can go because of the infections that are going. So you got to check on the State Department website.
When you go out, if you want to come back, you have to get the test.
You want to come back, you got to do it. So please, everybody, go to the CDC website. It's right there. I think it's on the front page, cdc.gov, because you do not want to leave and then find yourself unable to get back.
Right.
All right, Dr. Lapook, thank you so much. Chandra, we'll get back to you to see if you got the gig. Bye.
Call back.
Yes.
I think under 5.
Chandra, let's bring on your other
yes
mates that are here waiting. Thank you, everyone, for waiting so patiently. We had to get on our medical break. So let's bring on Camilla Luddington. Let's bring her
Camilla.
on first. Camilla, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Welcome.
if that's possible, Camilla, yeah.
I can do it. I have something that
That's a thing.
I'm organizing right now for the fans that they're gonna lose their minds over. Hang on.
I love that.
Hang
Okay,
on.
let's
Someone
go
else
on.
is gonna join us, guys, and you're welcome.
All right, I love it. Thank you, Camilla. Camilla, you work on
sorry,
that.
I'm texting.
We're gonna. Okay, you know what, Camilla? You do that in private. If you want to do it in private, or do you want to?
No. I'm just texting the link so that this person can.
Sounds good. All right, let's bring on Richard Flood. Richard. Hi, Richard.
How's it going?
Oh,
good.
Dream team is here.
Hang on.
Wait, Richard, you also have, is that Kevin's bed behind you?
He's just in the bathroom, but don't worry about it. He'll stay in there. He'll stay in there.
All right, Greg Germann. Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hi, you guys.
How you doing?
Very good.
Welcome.
Sorry, guys.
All right, that's all right. Camilla, you keep doing. We got so many people. We got
I'm
things to
surprised
do.
with someone.
Richard Flood has my bed in his house too. We all sleep over at Richard's house.
So fun.
That kind of house, you know.
All right, what about Chris Carmack? Let's ask him. Where are you staying, Chris?
I'm over at Richard's house, but we're in separate rooms right now.
Oh,
we need occasional privacy.
Are you guys in a fight?
No, it's just mental health during COVID. You got to find your separate quarters, right, Richard?
Yeah, he's in the same room. It's infuriating. That's what happened.
All right, and last but not least, Jake McCreary. Hi, Jake.
Hello. How's it going?
Here he is.
Jake, what's that pretty painting behind you?
Oh, thank you. It's a Jake original because I didn't have anything on my wall, so I was just like, let's make it pink.
Can you make me one? I want one.
Done. I'll make you all some favorite color.
One in the loft for us, Jake.
Did that become like your Zoom art for all of the Zoom calls? And
Really, it's behind me on anything that I do ever. So yeah.
So nice.
Magnificent jacket.
Very
Also.
good.
Oh,
Thank you guys for being here. Yay.
Well, and Chandra, I think Chris already has donations. Do you, Chris?
Do ya?
You want me to just read them off here?
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
All right, sure. The good news is there's a lot of them, so that's a good thing. We've got Christine from NYC gave $10. Christina from Las Vegas $20. Nairuba from Kansas City $41. Amanda from Pennsylvania $20. Lucy from Glasgow, Scotland $20. Says Kevin, would you ever come back and do some acting in the UK? I guess
he would.
He's not with us. Yes, the answer is yes.
I thought he's in the other room. Just go ask him.
Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
He's way back. He's having a great time.
Yes, of course I would. Hear that? Answer's yes. Emily from New York, $15. Maeve from New York, $5. Isabel from Boston, $10. Kelsey from Massachusetts, $50. Caitlin from Idaho, $5, and says, big thank you to all the amazing cast members. I love all of you, and you have saved my life. I'm only 15, and I am so grateful for you. I'm rewatching Grey's for the eighth time with my younger sister, and she's loving it too.
Wow.
There's more, but wait.
Oh my God, Chris.
Gianna, $5. Danica, $10. Maddie from Michigan, $25. John in Plano, Texas, $103. Says, Seth James, thank you for all you do. I've been a viewer and donor since last March. The goal needs to be $1 million by your 1-year anniversary, March 16th. We can do it.
Absolutely.
And Marley from Alabama, last but not least, $10, says, Grey's Anatomy has been a part of my life since I was 6 years old, and I'm now 21 years old. It has shaped me and taught me and given me hope for so many years. Thank you.
God, thank you, everybody.
Wow.
Beautiful batch of donations and things to say. Thank you, everybody out there who did that.
Sandra, to your point about the show, especially this season, not hitting people over the head with messages, but doing it in a Grey's way, which is smart and funny. And there were two clips I want to show because they involve, I think, most of you here. I'm just going to show them because they speak for themselves, and especially
they get a point across, but in a sassy way.
Yeah, especially this one. Jake gets his line in with you, Chandra, at the end of it. Hold on.
You have my word as chief that all of your children are receiving the best possible care. Well, we just need you to bear with us a little while longer.
Excuse me, Aaron Morris, any word on Frankie?
Which one is Frankie?
He's immunocompromised. He got a kidney donation for polycystic kidney disease just 2 months ago. He's high risk for COVID. Then why was he at a party?
Exactly.
Sassy.
Bailey's been a little abusive over the years. I should probably cut back on but she just.
I've learned a lot. It's good.
I don't even think I asked you if that was okay, Jake. I think
it's always okay.
One of these days.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like something's being said that we all think, you know, and that's what's great about Grey's Anatomy is that there's between all of you characters, all of you are different parts of our brain saying or doing things, whether we should be doing them or not.
Yeah.
Hold on, Seth. We're gonna show the other clip because this one is Camilla and Chris, which is really short, but I love it.
Excuse me, ma'am. Despite what you may read or hear in the news, sunlight does not, in fact, kill COVID-19.
It's so smart. It's just like you're getting the message across without like that, and then it's just like on the rest of the story.
We have to say them, right? We say the things out loud. We say the things, like you said, that people are thinking. It's not even a judgment thing. It's just what's out there. You know, we understand the responsibility of our show that sometimes people listen to us more than they listen to officials or, you know, people that should know things. So it's really we jump in 100% without judgment. Right. There's really no reason to say, I don't know if I would say that, because you just don't have the slightest idea, you know, when you're in these kind of situations, how you're going to feel or how you're going to react. So I appreciate the messier, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
A question that's for any of you is, do you think, because you had a long hiatus, right? Like from March to September. So it was like, what was that, 6 months or something?
Yeah, it was a long one for us. Yeah.
And so obviously all of you, like all of us, lived what was going on COVID-19 wise. Did it affect or change your, I don't know, the way you looked at your characters or anything like that? Anyone can pop in.
Anyone. I'll start us off. Like we said a little bit in the last segment, we got the opportunity to talk with the writers a little bit before we came in. And it was less about storyline, but more about where are you? How are you feeling? Right? Like what are you there's no way to get through this time and not be fundamentally changed in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Being, you know, isolated a lot, sometimes you miss that opportunity to talk, just to say. And in the act of speaking and saying and talking to the writers, hopefully, you know, that was giving them ideas. But again, it's a place where we were able to talk about things that maybe, you know, somebody hadn't thought about before. So, you know, without understanding what our season was going to be, right? We knew we had to address COVID. Just the relevance of our storytelling has been absolutely amazing. But no, you know, the number one priority for all of us, though, is to be safe. And it was about how do we have the opportunity to come out, tell these stories, you know, be able to give this content and make sure that we're taking really good care of ourselves, you know, as a whole. And I guess you guys can talk. Do you feel safe when you come to work?
You know what? I was going to ask you that, because we're not just talking about temperature checks that y'all do. I mean, how is it different now versus a year ago when you were reporting to set?
It's so different. There's no like knocking on each other's trailer doors and being like, hey, what's going? Like, there's none of that. It's kind of more isolating, I guess. You know, chit chat and stuff like that. Yeah, Yeah, it's just different. There's a lot to. I really think that we're on the best show ever for this though, because we get to be in PPE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we're on the safest show possibly like on the air right now.
Yes.
So but I don't know, how do you guys feel?
We get to live, you know, we're living when everyone else is living, but we're also, when we go to work, we get a chance to kind of express it and dramatize it. Is kind of one of the reasons you become an actor. You know, you want to express what's going on in your life, and this show, even without COVID, gives us an opportunity to do that. But at this moment, it's expanded exponentially. You know, we come to work every day, and we're really telling these stories that are happening to us or to people that we know, and that's a gift. And wait a minute, Camilla's never knocked on my trailer door, and I'm a little upset about that. But you can. You can still knock on my trailer door. They let me on the lot now, and
I will next time for sure.
I'm so excited to have Greg Germann on our show. Just being a fan of you for forever, and then so I've kind of blocked that out and don't like show it when we're at work. But you know, I'm like, you know, it's kind of hard sometimes. I like pinch myself.
Oh,
really?
Is this private? Is anyone else seeing this?
Yeah.
Is this recorded so I can take it home?
It's a bad connection. Hey, listen, by the way, I know you guys, the show takes place in Seattle, but you guys live in Los Angeles. But one of our favorite places is, of course, Arizona. I love Arizona. What?
Hey. What? Hi, my baby. Hello.
Wait, I think you're muted. Hold on.
Jessica, you got to unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
This is what happens with
Join. Join. Hi,
Jessica.
Hi. A drive-by with Capshaw.
I know.
How are you, Jessica?
You?
We can't hear us.
Jessica, go
Okay,
off.
now I can.
Back on.
Yay!
Hi.
I heard you guys are raising some money for some stuff. So I just came by.
Basically.
We are. For the
Oh my God, everyone loves you. There's a lot of love you, Jessica. Everyone's like having a breakdown everywhere. Oh my God.
I was like texting her as I was like waiting to come into the session. I was like, Jessica, like you're all over the comment section. She's like, should I join? I'm like, yes, you need to join.
I feel like I'm freaking out right now as much as the fans are. I miss you so much, Jessica.
I'm in Atlanta and I just got home from work and I literally I got Camilla's text and I was like, I'm a coming. And Greg, I feel like Camilla has knocked on your trailer door. Are you just not wanting to?
Yeah, you're like, exactly. Thanks, Jessica.
That was sort of like one of those things that are in plain sight. Like she served it up. She said,
I see.
You there?
I don't answer. I don't ever answer.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I don't have a fancy ring light like Camilla. Camilla, you're really well,
Thanks.
very
Yeah,
well.
you are the best bit of all of us, I think.
Jessica, turn your phone to the side and it'll take up the whole screen if you turn your phone.
7 ring lights on me, guys.
It works.
And now it should.
That did not work.
No, no, keep it there.
Hi guys.
Gorgeous.
I don't. But there's people I don't know. I don't know you, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Jessica. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed your work over the years, but I unfortunately we were ships passing.
Oh, thank you. Well, how are you guys having fun? What are you doing?
So we're here ultimately benefiting the Actors Fund, right? We've done 2 fundraisers for them in the past. You were right there with us for that, just to make sure that people, our industry, our actors, our theater actors, our Broadway actors, our regional actors, our dancers, our tours,
people behind the scenes,
performers, all our behind the scenes, all our stage hands. It's going to be a minute, and even in television and film, a lot of people have lost jobs, right, as of the end of the year. So we just want to make sure that everybody knows that the Actors Fund is there, right? It's a resource to go to, not only for financial help, but for all kinds of things, right there on actorsfund.org. You'll see, and if anybody is in a position where they can donate, please do. because there's absolutely nothing you can do when you can't go to work. So we just want to make sure that we continue to take care of our community as a whole. So thank you so much for coming and joining.
Oh my God. The best. I feel like I have been a supporter for a very long time, and I've always been amazed by the far-reaching ways in which help can be there.
Yes.
They're right there with finances. And Chandra, you have more donations to read.
I do. Look. Okay, here's the thing. So 1 and 2. Where did I leave? Great thing. Yeah, I left off with last one. There's lots of pages here. Okay, so here we go. Blow it up so I can see with my glasses. Okay. Naruba from Kansas City, $41. Elise from Queens, $15. Lulu from New York, $25. Marie, Becca, and Amy, $25. And Amanda from Connecticut, $25. Shout out to Kim Raver. She says, I've loved you ever since your time on Third Watch. Shout out to Third Watch. I had a part on that too. That was a great one-day check for me. I love it. And you have been a role model to me as a woman in medicine, so much so that I am now a second-year medical student with an interest in cardiac surgery. Yay, I love that. And then lastly, I have Ashley from Pennsylvania, $50. Drita, $8. I don't want to mess you up, from New Jersey, $25. Radhini from New Jersey, $25. Amanda from Connecticut, thank you for all for showcasing and being role models for women in medicine. I really take to heart Dr. Bailey's attitude, and being in my second year of medical school, I aspire to be Dr. Bailey in my career. We'd love to hear that. And then Denise and Stacy from Tennessee, $40. Thank you for your laughter, tears, heart-wrenching stories, and for keeping me and my wife entertained during the pandemic. If I told you the amount of times we have rewatched the season, you might send help. It's in the high 20s.
Oh my gosh, that's a record tonight.
That's all good.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's so lovely.
Thank you, everyone.
Guys, thank you.
So Camilla and Jake, I love that you two are roomies, and you've got your own your pod there.
Well, by the way, it's very much like, since like Will and Grace went off the air, this is like my new Will and Grace I get to watch.
I love that. Thanks.
That's a great analogy. And this clip that I pulled is like the perfect 30 seconds that for both of you and your friendship to Seth's point. I'm going to play it right now.
What?
Oh my God, you're back together.
Kind of. Taryn said the Netherlands suggested people find a designated sex partner for the pandemic.
You're having sex with Nico because the Dutch government recommends it?
Their country ranks very high on the World Happiness Index.
He lied, don't you? He barely gives you the time
Okay,
of day.
stop judging. It's wartime, but I still have needs.
It's very important. You need a sex pod during the pandemic. It's very important.
I love it. It's the issues that we're all facing. My
Grey's Anatomy has a lot of messages.
Yes, my favorite part about that scene too is if you zoom in on Levi's bike, there's an HRC sticker, Human Rights Campaign, and I love that.
Yeah, we love HRC.
I love it. So Camilla, there's a question for you from Elizabeth, who simply asks, "What's next for Joe Wilson?"
Hopefully more sex pod sex, which is very important. With Jackson Avery. You know what? It's already been teased, but she is thinking about changing to being an OB. Yeah. So that is like going to be a really big storyline for her. And I'm excited. I'm ready for my pink scrubs whenever they want to put them on me.
No, you're not.
And maybe Capshaw can come back and just.
You're never ready for the pink scrubs.
You like them?
And the big peeps, Chandra. The peeps.
Oh yeah, the big peeps.
And the big peeps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was on my way to pink.
Like the gowns, the trauma gowns we wear. We look like big peeps.
I actually remember investing time on trying to make that look flattering.
There's no point.
You wanted to tuck them a little and give them some darts.
Tuck.
There's work for
stapled in the back.
Pins someone holding it.
Yeah, those hospital outfits are very revealing. I would have to wear like 2 pairs of Spanx if I was ever on that show.
I've done that too.
So, Jake, there's a question here from Sophia. I love this question. If you could pitch any episode idea to Krista Burnoff, she's the showrunner, right, Krista?
Yes.
What would it be? If you could pitch any episode idea or character, arc for you, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I always pitch going to Capitol Hill and hanging out with a bunch of drag queens in Seattle. Like all the queer people from Grave and Station 19 just going out and like having fun. I mean, obviously we can't do that now, but maybe once everybody's vaccinated, we can all go to Capitol Hill again. That would be fun.
I love Capitol Hill in Seattle.
And bring Grace. I mean, bring Joe.
Yeah, oh my God, Joe would be my chaperone. I'd be like, Joe, can you drive me to Capitol Hill? Thank you.
No, we're Ubering. I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh.
That's fun.
Also, Jake, I'm just wondering, do you feel like a kind of pressure being like a gay Jewish character? Do you feel like you are a role model for gay Jewish hosts of live streams?
I definitely feel the pressure because I know I know firsthand what representation means, and so that's certainly not lost on me. And I feel like it's such a gift every day to be able to tell these stories for sure.
Yeah, oh, that's nice. I applaud it.
So, Chris, you're up next. Okay, let's see.
All these fan questions have to organize.
Okay.
And Jessica, you weren't even supposed to be here. You already have a fan question.
I know. I actually just side texted Chandra and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pop out because I think you guys got this. But I'm
well, let me aask you.
happy that I got.
Hold on, let me ask you
a ton of questions for you, Jess.
Liliana wrote to me. She says, Jessica, what was it like filming with a prosthetic leg?
Stories.
Chandra. So this was a common question, but also what is sort of like what I think was confusing, which was that I wasn't actually filming with a prosthetic because we only shot with the prosthetic when we would show Arizona without her pants on, which is Grey's Anatomy. There's lots of your pants off, right? Just kidding. Not. There's only a couple times. I didn't film with the prosthetic very much, but does that answer the question?
Not really.
Question.
Should have avoided the question.
It was a green screen. It was a lot of like CGI. I
filmed with the prosthetic once when that was when I had to. Chandra, you remember that I had to tie my one of my legs behind my back, and then I put my knee into the prosthetic, and then we did some walking. So that was hard.
Wow. We did a lot of moving Jessica's prosthetic around, right? So if she was,
oh my gosh,
when Arizona was in a bad mood, right, and you had to comfort Arizona, then you ended up having to take her leg and put it somewhere for her because she didn't want to deal with it. But most of the time, she tried to be incredibly fashionable on the prosthetic end, if that's possible. So
I tried to represent that that there can be that's a big question, but I tried to represent that you are whole no matter what.
I love that.
With great shoes, great pants, like all of that.
That's my cue. I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Jessica, for the surprise.
Thank you.
Big hugs and kisses to you all virtually.
I love you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Camilla. Thank you so much, Camilla.
Fans would like it.
Yes, ma'am. So, Chris, Marley has a question for you. I love some of the simple questions. What is your favorite thing about your character?
Oh, my favorite thing about my characters is probably the thing I need to channel Link in my personal life, because the dude has the longest patience I've ever seen. I mean, he's, he always seems to take a breath and say, okay, how can I diffuse this situation? Or how can I make this better? Or how can I not say the stupidest thing I can think of? And I tend to do the opposite in my actual home life. So I'm trying to take notes from Link on that.
See, we thought that you were going to maybe say, Chris, that your favorite thing about your character was making an entrance because your entrance to the series was pretty awesome.
Coming in, so we're gonna have to move you to make room for.
Oh my God.
Someone asked for an ortho god?
It is heaven.
I haven't seen that clip for a while. That was great.
So good.
That's what I said. There was one clip we were going to take from previous seasons. It was yours, Chris.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I feel like watching it now, though. I feel like maybe we should have gotten a bigger fan to really.
Wow.
Really get. I feel like we could have mined it for more. It's great, but I think it could have been better.
Just like a ball of water, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just all out. Yeah.
Maybe on the other side of COVID, when it's all of you are back together, you can reclaim that and do it again.
That'll be my pitch. That'll be my pitch for Krista.
There you go. That's your pitch.
A windier entry.
Oh my gosh, Greg. Ambi asks, have you ever done research or interviewed real doctors before you taped a particular scene?
What is research?
Don't worry about it. Richard.
Don't worry about it. No, we actually did a great, a really fun and deeply interesting Zoom thing with Chandra. You did it with us. We did it together with the doctors from Lenox Hill, the documentary that was on Netflix, and we have doctors on the set. I mean, Linda, our Linda Klein, who's there all the time. So research really happens, not just talking to doctors and so on, but while we're there, because one of the great things about Grey's and what I think keeps it on the air is that it tells the truth, not just in relationships, but the medical stuff that you're watching is all often cutting edge and real. And so, you're learning as you go to work. And but the thing we did with the Lenox Hill doctors was amazing. That documentary, it's like an 8 or 9 part documentary. I believe it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's still there.
And it ends right when COVID starts. And it's just the most compelling, dynamic medical documentary I feel like I've ever seen. And it follows 4 doctors. And we were watching it, my wife and I, and then we got a call to do this Zoom interview with them. I guess it was. I was so starstruck to sit there with real doctors, and not just people like us who are, pretending all the time. So research happens all the time. When I go get my physical, I'm doing research.
Speaking of keeping,
the colonoscopy is research. Let me just say.
Not pleasant.
Speaking of keeping it real, Seth and I noticed that there's a real change from like the early seasons to now as far as the procedures being on the graphic side.
Oh my God, I can't watch a thing anymore. It's like the close-ups, the holding of the
Seth
hearts.
You'd think he's watching Scandal because it's just like he'll turn his head. He can't watch it. Has there ever been a scene for any of you where it's been like so graphic that you're like, wow, I better not eat lunch before this scene?
All the time. In the ORs, all the time, we look at the cavities and go, this is really disgusting.
Like this season, there was a guy that was like fully burned. Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
That gave me chills.
You were in that scene with me, I think. Yeah, that was really gross.
And there was like a square cut inside him. It was like,
that was nasty.
I think it was last season. Last season we peeled somebody's head.
At you.
Oh yeah.
We peeled the guy's head back.
Yeah.
The skin of his head back to get to his skull, and I made a video of the dummy that they made, and showed it to my wife later. She still hasn't spoken to me. It's been about 9 months. But it looked real. It looked like it was like a real human being that you did it to. It was amazing.
We always err on the side of just shooting it all, like in a tight, just going in and getting it, knowing that maybe we won't use it, but just to have it, and we always use it. Like we always.
Yeah, Chris, actually, I think you got more donations. Can you read them right now?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Sarah from Ireland $15.
Come on,
Charlene.
Ireland. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
That's my mom. I'll just text
Steve.
her. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for that.
Renee from Detroit, $10. Charlene, $5. Courtney from New York, $10. Daniela from Illinois, $10. Says, I have an unhealthy obsession with Grays. OMG, my heart is so happy watching this.
Yay.
All right, we've got Ashley from Pennsylvania, $50. Drita, $8. Radini from New Jersey, $25. And Amanda from Connecticut says, thank you all for showcasing and being role models for women in medicine. I really take to heart Dr. Bailey's attitude and being in my second year. Wait, did we do this one already?
Wait, we did.
That one.
Well, Amanda, you're still awesome.
That's
Thank
right. There you go.
So, and we did Denise and Stacy from Tennessee as well, didn't we?
I'm losing track. There've been so many donations.
That's
All right,
good.
David, you'll figure out and make sure that.
Thank you, Denise and Stacy
right.
from Tennessee.
But Greg, I want to show before we move on to Richard. Richard, are you still having problems with being able to see the clips on your phone? How is it?
It's really slow. So everybody is kind of moving in very slow motion. I'm picking up on the like 10 seconds after, but it's fine. I can hear you. So
It's like Chris's entrance. It's that slow motion walk.
That's right.
I'm still reeling
That's
from
just-
that.
that's
I
just
mean,
how
I've
I
never
move.
seen such hair in all my life. They wanted to do the same for my entrance, but we didn't have the goods.
Oh,
Poor thing.
What can you do? What can you do?
Greg, I love the scene that that was when you find out that you have COVID. It's so well acted, directed, written. I just want to show it just because, sadly I'm sure you and we definitely know quite a few people who have gotten COVID, and I just
Been shocked by the
yeah.
diagnosis.
Yeah, I think it's a great scene.
Just the man I was looking for.
Great. What now?
You tested positive for COVID-19.
Funny. Kick a man when he's down.
14-day quarantine, hospital policy, contact tracing team will be in touch.
I'm not symptomatic.
Go home, Tom. Don't stop at the store. Just go home. Stay home. Try not to infect anyone else. Maybe you should put your mask back on.
Awkward.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit going on in that scene.
Yeah. It's
Yes,
hard
I
when you
know.
have no symptoms. So I think that's what I appreciated the most out of that scene is that it's so hard to hear that you have COVID when you have no symptoms.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make sense. And yeah, you just want to stop at the store,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a cutting edge message for Jake. As a Jewish lesbian, I really resonate with Jake's character. Levi's coming out journey gave me the courage to come out.
Wow.
What would you say to the gay kids watching you who are finding inspiration from your story?
Oh, I mean, hearing that is one of the best things for me to hear. And I've the past 2 years getting to meet all of these incredible queer people and hearing these stories is so incredible because me coming out, and especially on a public level, was very, very difficult. And so I understand where you're coming from. And the thing that I always love to say the most is for all these kids who haven't come out yet, I love to let you know that you've already done the hardest thing that you can possibly do, which is come out to yourself. And I just love that this show has given all these people somebody to relate to. So that it's so special to hear that from her. So thank you.
Well, that's from V. Just FYI.
Hold on, Richard.
Richard,
we lost
you're back.
Richard. There he's back.
Hi, Richard.
I'm here. I'm having, I don't know what's going on.
We're working from home, baby. Working from home.
That's right, Richard.
So,
So,
I don't know, but I can hear you anyway. So go on. Hit me.
okay, so before we lose you, this is another question from a fan. My favorite part of Grays is the intense eye contact over an open body. Do you have any tips for sexy eye communication with masks on?
Is that a question for me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. You gotta kind of wrinkle this and intensify this, and just sort of try to bore into the soul of the other person, and they kind of ignore what's going on down here. That's just that's every day.
Oh my God. I love these Richard Flood acting lessons. I love this.
Yeah, that's it. Come to my class, my seminar.
Oh my gosh. What were you gonna say, Seth?
Chandra, I found these photos, Chandra, of when I first interviewed you years ago. And first of all, I love your cute little hat. This is when we were
at the
in New
piano.
York. And you were doing Chicago at the time. Remember? And I told you to bring an embarrassing video, but you didn't have. But instead, you brought some photos of yourself as a child.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sandra!
Yeah. Always been there. Always been doing it. That's what growing up.
And this for the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend from NBC, and he was talking about people getting roles. Chandra, do you remember who you tested against for Dr. Bailey?
So, Dr. Bailey was supposed to be a short, white, blonde female. And when I went in to, I tested on tape in New York, flew out to LA for my studio audition. And there were lots of actresses there for that. And when I got called back for the network audition later that day, it was me and Kristen Chenoweth. So I was like, "Oh, there's the short white." I was like the bounce off person, like it was her, and then
And then, it was literally almost like, interns, I need you in the OR stat.
Such a different feel.
Yeah.
And we love Kristen, but very different feel.
I texted her today. I was like, "Do you remember?" I was like, "Yes, I do."
Oh my God. We're wrapping up, but you know what? I want to show this. We're going to show that last, but I don't know if Richard's going to be able to see this, but this is I just picked some of my favorite scenes from this season. This is one with you, Richard, where you're talking to Meredith via, FaceTime, and she's just in the other room. It's just a beautiful one because I think it's, of course, one sadly we've seen and heard these stories.
I'm afraid if I fall asleep, I'm afraid I might not wake up.
Everyone's scared of you, Gray, you know that? It's because you're fierce. You've got teeth, grit. You fight to the bloody death about the stupidest little things. This virus has got nothing on you.
It's so sweet.
Very sweet.
I
Richard
couldn't
couldn't see a thing, and it was very sweet.
Couldn't really see the clip. It just got stuck on my face and kind of contorted like this. But I do remember. I remember shooting it though. Yeah, it was quite. I suppose you feel sort of protected because you're doing a TV show, so it's not real, obviously. But the fact that this is the reality for so many people is. Yeah, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to accept and hard to really, certainly myself, it's hard to imagine because we've been lucky so far in my family. But everything that we're doing this season, it all feels important. It resonates somewhere with somebody, and that's a worthy thing to do, I think.
Yes.
Chandra, that's the perfect time to read the final batch of donations for tonight. And then Julie's got one more last fan question, and then we've got a special surprise that we have for a final picture that we'll show before we go.
Seth, did you just make a broccoli run for the dog?
Hold on.
Chandra,
You did?
very observant.
Yeah, you put it in that?
Yeah, that's why she chases after it. Ready, good girl. Go for it. Yeah. Good girl.
She's a fan of the show because she waited a long time before she started acting out.
Good girl.
Okay. What is the purpose of glasses if you can't see with them on? Okay. You said there was a thing, like a bunch of them. Okay. Wait. Okay. Thank you for the lap. No, we did that. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Okay. So Brandy from Canada, $25. Mandy from New Jersey, $5. Mila from the UK, $10. Abby from Wales, $25. Been watching the show for 5 whole years, and I've never been prouder. Yay. Thank you. Allison from New Hampshire, $10. Love you guys so much. I'm teaching a course on the politics of Grey's Anatomy in the coming semester, and I'm so grateful that you all have been so politically and culturally influential during the pandemic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for noticing. And then this batch says, glasses. Okay. Alina from Florida, $10. Drita from New York, $8. Gabriel from Bel Air, $5. Carrie in Tennessee, $25. Thank you for what you're doing. Grey's got me through 2 bouts of cancer and kept me sane while I kicked its ass. You guys rock. You rock. And Sarah from Ireland, $15. It's my birthday today. And I want to say
happy birthday. Happy birthday.
You're amazing. 2 hearts. Yay.
They're saying up late there.
They're saying up late. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Best.
So Julie, ask the last question here. This is from Jasmine.
Who is the most like their character and who is the least like their character?
No least.
You don't get to answer for yourself. Other people get to answer about you.
Wow.
I
feel like Jim Pickens is like that character, kind of. I feel like Jim is like solid, the nicest guy. I feel like Jim is.
So he's the most like this character.
Yeah, we certainly say Richard is more flawed than he is.
Oh yeah, not the other stuff, but like just as his like not the alcohol, right?
Not the cheating and the poisoning.
And the lead poisoning. No, I mean like because that character is just so solid for everybody else, and I feel like he's on our cast. He's just like an anchor for us too.
Yeah.
I think all of us have a little trait of the character that's really true. Like what you're saying with Jim, and like think of Debbie. You know, her character is such a razor sharp mover and shaker, and that's certainly Debbie. You know, Debbie Allen.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Jesse is way more of a goofball than Jackson Avery. Jackson's really serious, but Jesse's not.
Very serious with the furrowed brow. And
Yeah. I think Chris, whenever Chris comes on the set, his hair does blow back like that.
We don't get to see like the real Camilla a lot with the British and the stuff. People would be amazed to see how different you are. So where is it? Why have you been hiding it during COVID?
Do you know what, Lindsay, our scriptie? She told me I screw up more than Kevin with my accent. So I'm working on it.
Kevin.
Kevin only screws up like one word, and I screw up every single day. So it's good for me to keep practicing. Clearly,
do you guys have
Kevin is also very different from his role? You know, the army man is out like living on a farm with llamas and stuff like that. I feel like
that's true. Jake, I feel like you're kind of like your role too.
I'm a lot like my role. I'm very clumsy, and I don't like blood. So,
I love
Camilla, do you like Richard and Kevin have like a UK lunch area where you have like blood pudding and stuff?
I would like that.
Yeah, we should do that. Like your own little corner. No, now we'll get on it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's next. That's it must be a list. Yeah, we'll put them
an elite corner.
Afternoon tea.
Chandra, thank you so much for making this happen.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you guys for heeding the call and coming on in. And I adore the Actors Fund so much. And we are influential, whether we want to be or not. So if we're going to be that, this is a great place to do it in. So thank you for this platform. I really appreciate that. I adore you guys. You just make me laugh. You just make me laugh all the time.
Chandra, before we go, Kendall Wright sent me this picture that Krista took of you know what I'm going to show?
Yeah.
What was it like before I show it? Because this is the photo that I don't think has been seen by the viewers.
So beautiful.
I'm not sure if we put it out or not. I thought we did a little on the Twitter.
Okay.
But it's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So what was it like? I'm gonna show it right now because it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
What was it like to all be together? You all look beautiful. What was that like?
In our pastel. It was like OG time on the bench there. And it's funny, we were all really protective of TR, making sure like nobody was taking pictures, like no fans walking around. We really wanted that reveal to be the treat that it that it was going to be for our fans. So anytime you're around TR night, you just want to take care of him. So that's how, that's the Bailey part of our relationship that's really real. You just want to take care of him. And it was a treat. It was a big treat for us.
Where was that beach?
Oh.
Where? Indeed.
Oh.
That's not an answer.
Water.
That was very tricky.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
Somewhere in the Northwest region.
Pretty.
Well, thanks again, Camilla, Chris, Jake, Greg, Richard. Thank you all. It was so much fun. And we hope you come back. Chandra, anytime.
When I know, hey, open invites. I like that.
All right. All right. Seth, what are you gonna play as we go out?
Oh, I don't know. What should I play that's
Well,
magical?
how about Chandra? How about getting her? How about
me?
Yeah, you've sung on Broadway, and so have you, Greg.
Yeah.
Come on, Chandra.
What are you playing back there?
That's Chris.
What am I playing? It's a song you literally sang 1,000 times a week. Hold on, do you hear
Here we
it?
go.
I did something 1,000.
From Chicago.
Got a little motto.
Oh, that I couldn't hear. I could not hear. I couldn't hear. Is that my key? Is that my key?
Yeah.
Now I have to remember words. Wait a minute. I can't remember words. They say that life is tit for tat, but that's the way I live. Now I deserve a lot of tat for what I got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
Yeah. Great way to end. And Mandy wanting more broccoli, Chandra. Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
All the best.